Welcome back to DeLorean Tech, and this is going to be a special live stream. This is a very important day today. This is the day that the Kickstarter for the new 110 scale Back to the Future diecast DeLorean goes up. So it actually went up early this morning. It has actually already surpassed its goal. I think the goal was like $250,000. I think it's over $500,000 right now. So let me do a quick check. All right, so we are good. So they are doing a live stream at 2 o'clock, so in about 15 minutes. So what I'll do is I'll quickly go through what this thing is, if you haven't already figured it out by now. But essentially what this is I would call this sort of the answer to the collectors who, thought maybe the Eaglemoss was too expensive, and maybe too burdensome to put together. And this kind of answers those issues with the Eaglemoss. It's smaller, a little bit smaller. It's a 110 scale versus the 1A scale. It is die cast, so it is metal, so it is going to weigh, I believe, about 8 to 9 pounds, something like that. That's what they had said. But as far as the cost goes, the price, it's only $2.99 versus the Eaglemoss. Like, I don't even know how much I paid. I've got two of the Eaglemosses, so I paid a lot of money. I've heard like upwards of like $3,000 when it's all said and done. You could probably get it for less. I don't know, but it's over $2,000 for sure. Probably more than $2,500 for the Eaglemoss. This, on the other hand, is $2.99. Okay, so some of the parts are die cast. Some of the parts are plastic. I think some of the wheel components are plastic and things like that. But for the most part, all of the stainless steel body panels on the car are die cast. So you can take a look at some of the photos here. Another thing that I'm really impressed about is that they've been listening to the fans. So I don't know if you guys have seen the video I put out about a month ago. It's a YouTube short that kind of shows you what this thing at least used to look like about a month or two ago. It had like red cables over the wheel wells here, and it had a few other things that were just kind of weird about it. But they've been taking our feedback because they opened up a Facebook group for those who signed up for the VIP placement. They've been taking our feedback to heart, and they've been making a bunch of improvements. And so I'll quickly go through exactly what this is. So this is, I think, the first question I want to get out of the way is this is only going to be offered as a Mark 1. There's not going to be a Mr. Fusion flight mode or anything like that. So they did mention that they're going to leave the door open to doing that at some point in the future. No pun intended. So there's that, right? And they wanted to do that. Actually, they gave us a really good reason as to why they wanted to do this as a Mark 1. One of the reasons where I think the Hot Toys sort of missed the mark on. When Hot Toys released their Mark 1, you could tell that it was already set up to eventually become a Mark 2, especially if you look underneath the vehicle, right? For the actual cars in the movie, the Mark 1 was very different from the Mark 2. And if some of you guys have seen the videos on the Hot Toys Mark 1 versus Mark 2 that I put out there, you'll know my position on the issue. I thought the Mark 2 was too much like the Mark 1. It was basically a carbon copy. They reiterated that. Tomy reiterated that when they were talking about why they're only putting out a Mark 1. It's because the Mark 2 is actually very different in many other ways, right? It's not just a Mark 1 with Mr. Fusion and flight mode. There's a lot of other stuff that they wanted to address in a legit Mark 2. So this is only going to be offered as a Mark 1. All right, so you can go to, let's see if I can show you guys what that looks like as far as the Kickstarter that we have here. So I went ahead and I pledged. This is being offered as a Kickstarter. Let's click on this and see what happens. So here's the Kickstarter. So they've already raised $657,960. They only had a $250,000 goal. They've done some other stuff here. They are adding in a few extras if you order this early. It was kind of vague. So back in May, if you like put in $5, you were supposedly put on a list where you can get early access to this with the there's some additional items, some extras that they're going to add on. So there's an Einstein that you can obtain if you're part of that early bird sign up. They call it the VIP, right? So the VIP reserved access. So if you signed up for that, you're supposed to be able to order this before others. The reality is that that's not actually true, as I found out. So you can actually go to the Kickstarter. You just click on back this project here. You can kind of get an idea. I'm not even logged in right now, right? So the VIP early bird reserved, that's still available. You can actually get that. And I don't think you need to have that $5 put in. I'm not quite sure exactly what the $5 was for. I think it was more to get on their notification list that it does go live. I think they were kind of playing things by ear as well. They did set up a Facebook group for the VIP early birds. But as far as actually being able to order this with the 3-inch Einstein figure, you can do that right now. I mean, you can click on this, pledge. It's $2.99 plus $30 shipping, okay? And you can order more than one, right? So there's the VIP plus the early bird. There's some add-ons, which I don't know what's going on the web on this, but when I was on my phone, you can actually add on more DeLoreans, right? And the shipping, you can save on shipping by doing it that way. So you can do the 2 time machines. That just gives you 2, right? So you can click on that. It's $10 more for shipping if you want 2. Again, VIP reserve, so it does come with Einstein. It comes with 2 time machines, 2 Einsteins. You can do up to 5 as well, right? But what I did notice is when I went on my phone, I can add on additional time machines, and it only ups the shipping by like another $10 for each of these. And these are going to weigh a lot, right? So these are not going to be cheap to ship, and that is why I think this is kind of one of the pain points that I've heard from a lot of you guys out there. It only ships to the U.S. So unfortunately, if you are, hey guys in the chat, I'll bring you guys over on screen here. So if you are overseas anywhere, even in Canada, unfortunately, this is not going to be able to ship to you. So we can talk about that a little bit. What I would recommend is you find someone, a friend in the States, to get this for you, okay? Because when this hits the secondary market, i.e. eBay, this thing's going to be going for a lot of money, especially with these exclusive add-ons like Einstein. So here's the thing about those exclusive add-ons. So they've got goals, different goals, price goals, actually pledge goals. So if you pledge, and I don't know if it's on here or if it's on their main page, but if you pledge and they get, let's see if I can go back. They get up to, I want to say if they can beat 800,000, they will include the lightning rod as part of the VIP, and only the VIPs can get this. It's a little confusing. I think I figured out how it all works. So starting today, over the next 3 days, so this will end, today's Tuesday, you got Wednesday and Thursday, and that's it, right? You go in here, you pledge, you put your credit card information. They don't charge your credit card immediately. What they're going to do, at least according to the website, it said they would charge your credit card, I believe it was August 10th. Of course, on their live stream a few days ago, they said they would charge the credit card that you've entered after the initial VIP has finished. I don't really know what it is. It probably doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things, as long as you back it, right? And if you do click on back this project, it takes you to this here. You will have to create a Kickstarter account, however, okay? Hey, so Russ is online. Hey, Russ. So Russ joined us in the last one, or at least a couple of live streams ago. He is the DeLorean model collector. So he has a massive collection of DeLorean models, and it's always really cool because he collects all of them, right? Like, it doesn't matter like how big it is, how small it is, if it's a legit licensed product or if it's a cheap knockoff. He collects all of them, and he catalogs them, numbers them. He's up to over 550. I think he's in the 560s or something like that right now. So I don't know. So this one actually is going to be shipping sometime next year. I believe it's October of next year. That's kind of their target right now. So this will come October of next year. So we've got a ways to go before we get these in hand. They don't have a die-cast prototype yet that they've been showing in their live streams. They've been showing a 3D printed prototype that obviously when you looked at some of their videos, it looks like it doesn't weigh hardly anything. So there's that. Let's see here. So again, the $5 reservation, I don't know that really meant anything, because again, I could just go on here. I'm not even logged in, and I can, reserve VIP time machines. I was on my phone a little bit ago just to test it out, and I was able to access it. So I'm not sure how the $5 thing kind of figures in here. Besides maybe the Facebook group and maybe notifications and stuff like that. But even if you didn't put the $5 in, I would pledge for the Einstein. Because once this thing hits the next threshold, they'll include the lightning rod. Once you get to I think it's the $1.2 million threshold, they will add in the tire flames. There's a tire flames prop. I don't know if they showed that on their website. I think they did. There's a lot of different places to go to learn more about this. But what I thought we could do is maybe head on over to their live stream and maybe check that out. So I am going to quickly do that. Did not have it ready. I was a little late to this live stream. There was actually a fire going on right nearby. I live up in the hills here in Southern California, and there's the next set of hills to the south of me are basically on fire right now. So let's see here, what's going on. Okay. Trying to get to their live stream right now. It's supposed to go live here in about 2 minutes. All right. So here is their Facebook page, and I've been following their stuff here for a while. I think since like May or something when I put in that $5. I'm looking for the event. Let's see here. Well, I think it could be on their page. So let me just go to that real quick here. Yeah, so in 5 hours today they raised over 600,000. So they've definitely hit their goal. 800,000 is a lightning rod accessory, and then of course the 1.4 million. So I'm correcting myself on that. I said 1.2 before. It's actually 1.4 million. That gets you the flame tracks accessory. So basically the tire flames in the back. So they may filter out those that didn't pay the $5 from the VIP purchase because of the price reduction. That's a good point. I was wondering about that because I was able to get it, even not even logged in. So I don't know what's going on there. I know they had another option for the non. Let's see here. Yeah, the non-Einstein, but not too many backers on that one. Anyway, let's. I'm not sure what happened to their live stream. There it is. Oh, and they're live. So let's see what we got. Crank up the volume here.
Live? Remember when they put the words on the teleprompter and he reads everything? I'm Ron Burgundy.
So let's see if we can join in our live chat.
Okay, sorry. So that's how happy and excited I am today. I'm wearing my vintage Back to the Future t-shirt, which I really do think is vintage because it doesn't fit like it used to. So we just want to thank everybody who supported the Kickstarter today. It blew away our expectations. We just looked and it was 1,816 backers or 2,200 pieces, which, man, I didn't think we'd do that in the first 8 hours. It's great. It's awesome. I'm thrilled. So keep telling your friends and your community chats about it so we can get to the next tier, which is the lightning rod, which I have in a box. Showed you last time. That'll be $800,000, and then this is something new we can talk about real quick. Flame tracks. We didn't show these last time. That's the
prototype. This is a prototype.
quote unquote second tier at 1.4 million. So they're gonna be
The flame tracks.
what's
There
on
you
the
go.
website, right? Where it's one piece, or are they gonna be two pieces?
It'll be 2 pieces.
Okay, it is gonna be 2 pieces. So
It looks better at 2 pieces.
yep. And then
I want
the ones that
those.
Chris has in his hand, they're painted, but we're actually gonna mold them in a somewhat translucent material,
Oh, cool.
which I think
Very
looks
cool.
better.
It'll look way better.
This is kind of a weird example, but
It's the same material. But what's cool
Yeah.
about that is that if you did it right and you're displaying this, you could put like a little string of like those teeny tiny LEDs behind it, each flame trail, and it'll look like it's lit on fire. So it'll be cool. It's better than this.
yeah, you're right. If you modify this, it does look like it's real fire.
Mm-hmm.
What else do I want to talk about? Oh,
I'm going to explain real quick how the lightning rod attaches.
okay.
So in the back, obviously, there's a spot for the mount for the lightning rod. And you just basically stick it in there, plug it into place. And then this just fits in here like so. She's ready to go. It's really simple.
Nice.
Noise. And then you can
So the
either
lightning rod
take this out,
attachment, that's when they
you
hit
can store it inside
800,000.
the
So they're
car,
still
you got that
100 and something shy of that.
You'll be able to display it that way if you want, however you want to do it.
We had a clarification on the wheels. So all 4 wheels will roll, but they are not steerable.
Right, they don't, yeah, they're not steerable.
They don't steer.
We focused our energies on other things to make this cool.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I don't think they need to steer. Well, they're not going to. We're getting a lot of requests for the USB port thing, and you and I talked about it this morning. We're gonna talk about it with our lead project manager, Rick, and see if we can maybe put it in as a tier. Like if we get past 1.5 million,
Wow.
don't know the number yet.
Somewhere down the line, we'd like to, I
Yeah.
mean, we were on the.
It's a good idea.
We were on the cusp of doing it.
That would be a good idea. So a USB port for the lighting on this thing. So it does have LEDs.
Like Travis had a goal or tier, why not? You know, we can,
Do you think it's possible that we can get the innards to fit?
what?
The innards,
What are the innards?
like the components that make up the USB
Oh, sure.
power thing?
Oh, yeah, piece of cake.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that.
Because you know what? I would actually display mine with the lights on full time. I have an infinity gauntlet that plugs into the wall.
Is it still on to this day?
Yeah, I've had it plugged in since COVID.
No boring. Carbon footprint's horrible.
Oh, they're LEDs.
I'm just joking.
It's basically free.
They're probably gonna burn out.
They probably pay me to power it.
We should mention that we plan on shipping this in what, fall 2024?
Yeah, be prepared for October.
October 2024?
Yeah.
Cool. Somebody was asking what figure this is. This is
Doc.
This is Doc. It's, oh, you know what? No, Travis, let me say. It's RoboCop.
So those are the NECA
this is
6-inch
Marty. This is
figures.
the
Those
addition to-
are another reason why they actually marketed this as a 110 scale, because it would be compatible with those figures more so than the NECA, the really really
But you
poor
insisted on taking the
NECA
invisible hand off.
DeLorean that
It's
they
stupid.
put out
Nobody
there,
likes
which
that hand.
That was probably the worst DeLorean I've ever seen. I bought it. I actually returned it. I was so disappointed.
Oh, yeah, he's wearing a tuxedo when his house, right?
So Russ is saying it makes more sense to make the
Yes,
model
Travis.
from resin
We're going for
rather
that
than
first.
die cast.
I've only
Do
seen
you
the
want to
movie
be sure?
Cheaper to produce and ship. I totally agree with you.
times.
I think again that's why I think they're only offering U.S. shipping on
You
this.
should see. Have you seen Guardians 3?
No, I did see I did see it, but I was using a ViewMaster,
Oh, yeah.
so I kind of know what's happening.
So it talks
But
about the
don't worry, Russ. We'll take care of you, man.
display case. We're gonna do a giveaway. I think it's today sometime, where we've got 4 of these display cases to give away for free.
Oh, the display cases.
So that's cool. And it's the same one you saw in the video. It even comes with a little strand of lights.
It does.
Strands
It
of
does
lights.
come with a really cool little set of lights that you can put under the car. You can put.
So they are offering display cases as giveaways. They look kind of like generic display cases, so it's not like something licensed by Universal or anything that you will, miss out on. I thought it was kind of a cool little perk, but that's only available if you're on the Facebook group.
Decision to include it with all time machines, regardless if you're an early bird or
It's a good idea.
a late bloomer.
And I think it's important.
Mm-hmm.
And we always kind of did. Somebody wants to know. So this figure won't fit in this car. This is the first prototype, so nothing fits in this car. But we do have some footage, some
Imagery,
showing that we are working hard to get the figures to fit in there.
world
It'll
exclusive,
pop up here on the screen. in a
world
second.
premiere.
So as you can see, there's Marty. He fits in there pretty good.
There you go.
This is the next slide over. You can see with the door open, you can see how nice he fits in there. It's going to be pretty good. Marty will fit. Not sure about Doc yet, and not sure about Biff. And I'm not sure about Hazmat Suit Marty.
Hazmat Marty has a big.
So Marty actually fits
Big
okay.
Yes.
So those are the NECA figures, and they are actually trying to make their DeLorean
Well, we're trying
work with those figures, which I think is actually really
Yeah,
cool.
it
So
depends
they're
what you
taking
wear.
this,
Right.
they're taking this
So
like
anyway, so
really
this is
far
Marty
for
was
us.
good.
So I think that's actually pretty cool.
I think it's going to be good.
That's cool to see, and he's the most important one besides the dog.
Yep. And he will fit in either seat.
Do we have any questions? We had somebody say they're really happy about possibility of the USB. And I think that's something we might have to do. You know what I mean? Like,
No, we'll
just do the right thing.
just do the right thing.
It's a movie.
There's some detailed questions that somebody had. So the flux wires, obviously, they're not going to be multicolored. They're going to be sort of a blackish color.
When you say that, you're talking about the outside?
So Russ happens to agree with me on that NECA model. Yeah, I know you probably kept yours only because you're a completist, but yeah, I had to dump mine, unfortunately.
We just can't afford to do multicolor. And then the hose clamps that hold everything.
So Dr. Julius is having issues ordering his, so you'll have to go to the Kickstarter, create a account, and then there's a Kickstarter page that I don't think it actually links up to the deal, the $5. I think you can just order that. I don't know if they're going to filter that like Russ was saying, but they might. If you did sign up with the $5 and you did make a pledge, you should be okay. But if for whatever reason you can't do it, just go ahead and pledge it anyway on the Kickstarter.
Look at it. I mean, if you look at the real car, the wires are thin, and we just can't do it. We can't do all those multicolor. Not for this.
Mhm.
However, if anybody wants to custom. Do their own little custom job.
Mm. Very nice.
We should probably thank our earliest supporters. Again, because without you guys, we wouldn't have gotten this far for sure. We've been looking at the Facebook chatter and whatever, and you guys.
So
are
Russ is
so
saying he does not blame me for dumping it.
It's awesome to
Yes,
watch
yeah,
those
it was
comments.
pretty terrible. The paint job, I think, is really kind of what messed it up the most.
Thank you so much for your help.
Yeah.
Hey,
also,
sorry for the
people
audio
who wanted
issues
to
here.
at
I'm
8
trying
o'clock,
to
I was
mute
on there and,
them
like,
at the same time
remember I came over?
as when I'm so I'm not syncing that up correctly. So definitely I definitely apologize for any of the audio issues that you're probably
Yeah, I
seeing
messaged
there.
Julie.
But anyway, this is also on their
Yeah,
Facebook page.
Yeah,
I wanted to just kind of go through it really quick here.
Like I said, it's like going to the
And just to
Supercross,
see
right?
what
You guys are
they
crazy.
have to offer
Thank
as
you
far as like
again.
some additional extras that they're
somebody-
thinking about.
I guess we get this question a lot. Plutonium case.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good idea, isn't it?
Definitely.
So it's a good idea. That's all we're gonna say.
Yeah,
So
anything could happen at this point.
anything can happen at this point.
We know, and a lot of other companies do that too. That when things take off better than they expected,
Mhm.
they do additional things. So
Yes, and that's what we'll say about that.
Yeah. definitely looking at the USB thing.
Mhm.
Definitely want to consider another physical tier for support. Cover the certificate of authenticity. There's gonna be another.
I think that
giveaway.
physical tier is a really cool idea.
I don't know if it's
So,
announced or not, but
If it's just going to be the USB
think
port,
you'll be
I mean,
surprised it's
I'd
not
rather
even
see
gonna be-
something else.
You know what it is.
But I guess we'll find out. Note that this model will also not have any sound effects. So I don't think they're actually considering doing that either.
Can we explain why the wait is so long for those unfamiliar with the process? Oh, that's easy. Well, easy.
It's easy if you have been doing it for 20 years.
Right. So obviously you have to take there's a couple months for development. There's a couple months for actually getting models made, like stuff like this, fine tuning everything, getting approvals, getting all the costs aligned, getting everything all buttoned up so that way we can go to a factory and say, this is what we want to do. And then we negotiate a price a little bit, and then they start cutting steel. And that process itself,
What is cutting steel?
they take like big chunks of steel and they make molds out of them. So they basically they cut out all the cavities in the steel, so that way when they put them into the machine, they shoot plastic or zinc into them and they eat your parts. And that debugging process takes months as well. And then again, you still have a couple more months of, or several weeks of just approvals and fine tuning everything, make sure.
I mean, it took us 8 to 10 months to get to this point. You know, you have to get the website approved by Universal. You have to
Right.
get the sales model approved. You had to get the video approved.
Right.
So then when you get to this stage, you know, they're gonna have to see the tooling model, which is the model we used to make the molds you talked about.
Right.
You
So
know, there's a lot of
it's-
behind the scenes stuff that you don't know about. And the typical life cycle from toy, like from prototype to shelf, is 12 months.
Typically,
When you see something at Walmart, that thing has been worked on for 12 months.
sometimes we can fast track things, but you really have to,
Well-
it has to be like a scene, like a,
Like a toy made out of 5 pieces.
well, yeah, but it has to be like smooth sailing, like something super simple,
Yeah, that's why I said a toy made out of 5 pieces.
that too. Or plush.
How many pieces do you
Another thing that they are, that one of the reasons why it's taking so long too, is they're actually taking fan feedback and they're incorporating it in the design process. So that's actually a really, really cool thing that, you know, I've never seen that before.
5 years?
Did take a long time. Thanks, COVID.
It wasn't COVID's fault.
What was it?
Nothing.
It wasn't my
Nothing. Nothing. The thing just has a lot of detail.
Wasn't my fault.
And paint
It was,
and the lights. I don't want to talk about that one.
Let's talk about this wonderful beast.
Yes.
Somebody's asking if the tires themselves will be made out of plastic or rubber. They'll be made of like a rubber-like material. So it's still like a PVC low durometer, nice and squishy type of material. You'll be able to feel the difference between hard plastic and soft plastic, but that's it.
Right. The wheels are a harder material like ABS.
The tires,
No, the wheels.
the rims,
The rims.
yeah, the wheels, the rims will
The,
be,
the thing that's inside the
ABS.
tires,
yes,
ABS.
yes, what you see here.
And the black part, the tires are like a soft PVC, like,
That's right. Nope. That's
jacket,
okay, there you go.
jacket.
You're right.
Sneaker.
Somebody wants to know if we can be able to remove the body with like simple screws. The answer is probably yes.
We don't encourage
No, but it's for
But you
people
may
that want to
customize it.
Customize,
Yes.
so we're not gonna do anything devious like tricky, like do like a triangular head screw or a stake screw.
Yeah, we'll come up with a unique screw head.
Or something like that. You'll be able to modify it as you want, because I know what's gonna happen is there's a lot of, figure mod guys out there that love to do that kind of stuff, and I can't wait to see what you guys do with it, to be honest.
That's why we did, go back to the enterprise real quick. That's why we put those plugs on the enterprise. And so if people want to customize it, they can.
Yeah, so after.
We'll talk about that.
We can talk about it some other time, but yeah, you're right. After long deliberation and going back and forth with collectors and mod guys and stuff like that, we decided to do that.
Mhm.
So we'll do the same thing here. What does the design process look like from this point on? How many more designs will you go through before it gets finalized? I'm gonna guess at least 2 more rounds of revisions to our CAD information. So right now, this whole, everything exists right now in CAD, like a 3D file that we're constantly tweaking to get things to fit, look good, obviously, streamline the production process, all that kind of stuff. So we're probably looking at like 2 more rounds of revisions especially with the engineering team. So yeah, we're hoping to send all this information. Like now we're here at this point, we're hoping to really put the pedal to the metal after Friday.
Mhm.
So it'll be cool.
Well, we know it's a go, so we might as well send the information over.
No, we have to. We have to just get.
That'll save us some time.
No, we're
Or gain
on
some
track.
time.
We're on track. It's good.
So yeah, moving just a little bit now. I won't stand it. Anything else? What time is it? 3:17. We'll probably go another 5 minutes. You can always order the 2-pack on Kickstarter. Yes, that's a good idea. Order 2, customize 1.
Mhm.
Keep 1 mint in box, because you know what I would do if I tried to customize 1? Screw it up.
Well, that's why you have.
But I'm not
You'd have me
handy.
do it.
I know, I'm not handy with that stuff.
You'd have me do it.
Wait till you see what I did with my custom sneakers.
No. Are they Air Jordans?
No, they're those ones I told you about, the Back to the Future ones.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I used too much glue and you can see the glue. The glue said it was clear.
Well, it's probably clear. What is it?
It's Gorilla Glue.
Is it yellow?
No, I'll show them to you. You know, when you get something
Yeah.
like your shirt wet
Yeah.
and it shows up dark?
Oh, that's what happened?
Yeah. Thanks a
Wow.
lot. Gorilla.
I should have rethought that glue. Should have got shoe repair glue.
So I did ask if they're going to release a Mark II hover mode. I figured I would do it anyway since they completely obliterated their goal today.
Any other questions?
Um,
So I don't like to brag, but I was thinking 2,500 pieces by the end of the day. And we're at, can we look real quick? We're at about
the same.
2,250 when you do the math.
We'll get there.
Yeah, by midnight.
Pretty excited.
Actually, we should do
Thanks,
first 24
everybody.
hours from 8 to 8.
We should have like placed bets.
No,
What?
because then that's how you jinx it.
Now talking about placing bets.
That's not, you can gamble in Iowa.
What?
Shoot, I was gonna say something. Oh, don't forget, you can still buy this at $2.99 until Friday morning. So I'm glad we went that route, because if we would have done the limited quantity, we would have sold out by like 10 or 11.
That's good.
And I didn't want that to happen, because then people, you know what I mean? We've been talking about $2.99, we've been out talking about the dog.
Yeah. Do we want to talk about the reservations? So I know that
Yeah,
real quick. I mean, it's been the reservations. I know the whole thing's kind of confusing and weird or whatever, but it's been extremely helpful in trying to figure out exactly where we're going with this and planning the campaign. So again, thank you for everybody that did it.
and Chris and I have been totally transparent throughout this whole thing. You know, we kind of changed the rules when we said first 3 days, $2.99. because we wanted to make sure everybody got one at that price. And that kind of threw the reservation thing into a loop.
Mhm.
So if you want your $5 back, we're going to honor that. And all you have to do is email backtothefuture@tomy.com if you want the $5 refund. Because I get it. Some things didn't pan out the way we thought they would. You know, we sold more than we thought we would in the first 8 hours. So
Yeah.
we're going to offer refunds
Yeah, I
if
mean,
you're not happy with your $5 reservation.
yeah, I mean, regardless, that whole thing helped plan the whole campaign and like just the popularity of it and where things were going with
Yeah.
it and who was passionate about getting into it. So
That's all I got to say about that.
that's all we're gonna say about that. So thank you to everybody that did it.
Yep.
If you want to rectify that, contact us.
Backtothefuture@tomy.com.
There you go.
Email, done and done.
Any chance we'll get the V2 since this has been successful so far? Why not?
Yeah, we can't promise or speculate.
I'm gonna say,
I would,
Maybe
if I
yes.
were a betting man, I'd bet on
I
it.
would say maybe yes.
Yeah.
Maybe no.
Well, we haven't even talked to Universal about part 2 yet,
I know.
but
Do we have any other live streams or interviews planned, like with our interview with the great Denobi? Yeah, I think this week I have an interview happening. I think Wednesday or
you don't
Thursday.
even know, you're so busy.
I know.
I gotta talk to.
No, it's Friday.
My people.
Sorry, it's like Friday night, I think. Anyway,
Did you have one last Friday? You told me you had one last Friday. At 7 or something. You can't remember that?
no,
That might be a problem.
this week.
Last week, last Friday.
Well, ever since the accident, I think. So yeah, I mean,
Yep, we're talking to
That's
some
it.
people.
and there's a few that are in the queue that we're trying to line up some interviews with, and hopefully have other things to share as we go down the road with this. And again, as we go along with this, we'll be posting updates and all kinds of fun stuff, either lives like this or on Facebook group, whatever. We'll figure it out.
Well, just fun stuff like sharing that picture of Marty in the car. You know, we've got a test model over in China. And then
Yeah.
we've got this one here, so we couldn't show you with this one.
Right.
But with the beauty of the internets and Zoom.
The interwebs, are you
I-
telling me this is a system of
PowerPoint?
tubes?
That's all I got.
What's going on?
I don't know. She's changing the viewer count. I'm looking at
Isabel,
two
what's going on
screens.
over there? Oh, she's embarrassed now.
What will the price be after Friday? $329. And then I think every week it changes.
Somebody wants to see the smoke effect. Let's see if I can get it to fire up. No pun intended. Take a little bit. Need to put a little more fluid in there. This will be better.
This is cool. This is actually one of my favorite features, that smoke effect.
Because it's a coil. It has to heat up.
Again, there it is.
Some good juice. Some good juice. That one is like banana. It's banana flavored.
Mm. It's not only a collectible, it's a vape pen.
This is my vape pen, guys. Look
Yeah.
at this.
It only cost me $2.99.
So it's the same kind of smoke effect that
We can price it about that stuff.
those model collector trains, those hobbyists use to simulate the smoke coming out of the stack on the
This
on
is an
the
adult
engine.
collectible,
Yeah, it's
guys.
a dog collectible.
the train engine. So it's the same sort of technology. I think it's like a
Can we
glycol-based
turn the lights off real
substance
quick?
or something. I'm not
Turn the
a
lights off.
train guy or anything, but that's how they described it.
More lights.
You should have done this.
Aziz, light. Come on, baby.
So there are lights inside the fence?
Yeah. It's even-
I don't think I knew that. Look at that. I mean, dude, how cool is that?
I know it. Some people didn't
I
want to
can't
do it.
stop like being enamored with it.
Some people didn't want to do it.
I know I was wrong. I admit when I'm wrong. I didn't think it would work.
I didn't want to do that. I was
That's
just-
very cool, I think.
No, you're absolutely right. I was like, that's not gonna work right. Because we did a toy one time that had water vapor
Oh, it was the
and it was
worst.
the worst thing ever.
It's the dumbest thing ever.
It was, well, number
In
one,
theory,
there was no
it's great.
timing on the shelf.
In theory, it was great. In reality, it was the worst.
Man, a smoking toy, good idea. Right in that baby's face, right there. Yeah, don't try to use this as a humidifier. It's not that type of vapor.
Could be.
I should get myself a humidifier for my room.
Somebody's asking about the flux capacitor lights, what it's gonna do. Is it really gonna be the Christmas tree, or is it gonna cascade like it does? We're working on that.
It flickers a little bit,
It
right?
flickers, we want to improve that a little bit, but when you get the LEDs that small,
Mhm.
lighting effects that small, things can get a little weird.
It's easy to do it with a 1-to-1 prop, right?
Oh, for sure,
Because you can do multiple lights and
for sure.
programming. I wanted to get one of those life-size props, but you can't find them anywhere anymore.
You can go to O'Reilly's.
It's on there, but it's been sold out for years.
So the lighting effects actually look pretty good.
Oh, it was never for sale?
I'm
Yeah.
liking that.
These jerks.
I'm glad the flux
Somebody
bands
should-
light up. You don't get
These are
that
sell
with the Hot
10,000.
Toys, unfortunately.
I know.
Actually-
Maybe we should talk
I
to
know.
people about that.
Oh, I thought there was a red light. Oh, that's funny. And then took that red light on my nose.
For people that don't know, Tomy's been around forever.
100
right?
years,
100 years.
Next year.
Next year.
2024.
Tomy's been around forever, and I've been in this business of doing replicas and stuff for 26,
More than me.
26 years.
Magic number 23.
And Rick, a project manager, he's another one. He's been doing replica projects
30.
for
30.
probably longer than that.
I don't know.
Long time.
30. 30 for 30.
So yeah. Anyway, Tomy's been around a long time. Know what we're doing.
Can you imagine what life was like in 1924? That was the
Mhm.
Depression, right?
Is the camera blurry? Did I blow smoke out?
No, it's fine.
Oh, it's just because
The lights are off.
turn the lights on, Noah. Thanks. Aziz, light.
So they're having some technical difficulties over there. It looks like they cleared it up.
Like that movie.
Oh my God, what's wrong with you?
Anyway, the 20s, that was the Depression, right?
20s is the 30s.
So again, the model they have there is not
can you look
the
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 Depression.
die-cast
Great Depression.
prototype. That's a
Well,
3D printed prototype. That's why he's able to maneuver it around very easily. This thing is going to weigh upwards of
We're
10
both right.
pounds when it's all said and done.
It's 29
And I think that's
39.
another reason why they are only doing shipping in the U.S. is because of the
Second, Leon.
cost of the shipping and sort of the unknown
See,
as far as
that's-
international
Hey, when was
shipping
Rolling
goes.
20s?
Not only is this show entertaining, but you learn something.
I know it.
I bet you 90% of the people knew enough.
I know it.
I'm horrible with history.
Oh.
I didn't know that Napoleon was an emperor.
Mhm.
I thought he was just like a conqueror.
Well, it's a title. It's like a king. When you say the emperor is the same as a king.
I know. But
Oh,
I
I
googled
see.
it and it said he wasn't a king. He said he made himself an emperor.
Yeah.
And put himself at the top of the,
That's why
I only Googled it because I saw the trailer.
as of today, I don't know if you knew this or not. My boss called me and told me I was Grand Marshal of Tomy for the next 2 years.
I know, but he literally named himself emperor and then took over the country. Like lives in a castle. And
He
anyway,
lived in a castle?
I don't know.
Was he the king?
Trailer showed him in a castle.
He wasn't the king of the castle. You want to, real quick, you want to talk about the stretch goals
Sure.
real quick?
So I consider Einstein kind of a stretch goal because he's in the first 3 days. And he's an add-on after that. And then at $800,000, which we'll probably hit tonight, you get the lightning rod with base.
The mount.
And then at 1.4 million, you get the flame tracks, which will be two pieces, and be molded in a translucent type material that mimics flames.
Right.
Won't be painted, molded, which I think is a better effect.
Yep. It's a good idea.
And anybody who collects Marvel Legends or Star Wars, you've seen this type of accessory. You know, Emperor hands, but in pink. You know, the Emperor was like the first one to kind of start this trend.
Was he?
of shooting power from your hands.
You sure?
Yeah. Think of somebody else.
Flash Gordon.
Nobody watched that.
King of the Rocket Men.
Never heard of it.
Oh my gosh.
1983. Return of the Jedi. Shooting hands.
One time I used to record my own films.
Oh, yeah. Hurry up. We gotta go.
And I used to do an 8mm film. And if you wait till it's developed and then go back to the film and take a little pin and scratch little marks into it, you can make it look like you have electricity flying out of your hands. We don't do that anymore.
So they just confirmed the model will be approximately 11 pounds. It's pretty heavy.
We'll look at some of Spielberg's old movies he made when he was a kid. They're really creative. He knows how to use like foreground and background, and you're not even listening.
I am.
Okay.
Somebody asked real quick, can we store the lightning rod inside the car? The answer is yes.
Just not this version.
There you go.
Oh, look, click.
Boom.
It fits.
Okay. Somebody asked real quick, can we store the lightning rod inside
All right, we'll be back, I think, in a week.
Just not this version. There you go. Oh, click.
More updates, a new number. Wonder where we're gonna be in a week. If only we had a time machine.
That's funny.
That's a good way to end. All right. Thanks again, everybody. We couldn't have done it without you.
See you, everybody.
Take care.
All right, so they just concluded their live stream. We'll go back to their page and talk more about this model. So that was a pretty cool live stream. They did answer a few questions that I had, but I did want to sort of address more details on this. So just to kind of recap some of the takeaways from their live stream, the $5 VIP early bird thing, that really didn't really amount to anything. I mean, you're not just because you put down their $5 doesn't necessarily mean you get anything extra or sooner than anyone else. So they did address that, and they did say, hey, if you want your $5 back, you can get that. So I would just email them at that Tomy address, that probably the same address that the confirmations that you've been getting in your email. I know that I got a few already, and I would just reply back to that email and say, hey, I'll take my $5, or I don't know if they'd be willing to apply it to the purchase or whatever. I don't think they will. I think they're just going to charge your card for the amount. And if they want to reverse the $5 deposit that you made, it really wasn't even a deposit. But I think what they were trying to do was, and it didn't work out because of the overwhelming response. So they far exceeded their goal. I don't even know where they're at right now. We can go ahead and take a look really quick. And they are at 669. So if they reach 800,000 tonight, that means we're going to get the lightning rod attachment. So that's going to be cool. More than likely it will happen. Now for the flame track, that's going to be at 1.4 million. So that's quite a ways away. That's over twice where we're at right now. So you do have 3 days to get the VIP extra, okay? So let's go to, if you back this project, you can see what we have as far as these options here. So here's the basic one, right? This is the one that if you're just going to get anything, get this one here. And they've been upping these limits here. So it started off at 1,500 this morning. It's actually at 1,950 right now. So, and when I ordered mine, or when I pledged, it was at 14. I was like 1458 or something like that out of 1,500. And then just a little bit later, I saw it go to 1,750. So they're actually increasing this. So again, the $5 really didn't mean anything. So if you didn't put down the $5, you can still get this for the $2.99, and it will come with Einstein. So $2.99 with Einstein. It's $30 shipping. I don't even know why they're putting this one in here. You've got 17 backers, which doesn't make any sense because it doesn't you know, I mean, you save less, and the shipping's going to be the same. So it doesn't make any sense. So they probably should have just eliminated this. I don't know what the deal is here. They should also just have like a quantity as opposed to like, here's a 2 time machines. I actually order the 2 time machines just in case. And then you can do a 5. But if you order this on your phone on Kickstarter on the app, I think you can actually place whatever quantity you want. So I don't know for sure. The retail cost, so a heavy metal machine just tuned in. As far as the retail cost, it is going to be $3.99 is what they're saying. So it does say it right here, retail price of $3.99. That will happen. That's as far as when that will happen, when it will be set at $3.99, we don't know yet. What they're planning on doing is over the next 3 days, you can get it for $2.99, right? And they won't charge your card until August of this year, August 10th, I believe. And what'll happen is after this coming Thursday, for 3 days, you can get it for $2.99 and get Einstein. After that, you can't get Einstein, and you may not be able to get the time machine for $2.99. I don't know what they're going to do. They've been kind of making this up as they go, obviously. So nothing is really carved in stone. It's very sort of, play it by ear. We'll see what happens kind of thing. I did notice that, and maybe it wasn't on here, but on my phone, that you can actually add on Einstein for $15. So I don't see it here on their website. So I just thought it was kind of weird. And when I click on add-ons, well, there you go. So you click on add-ons. Well, didn't do anything. So when I went on my phone, I was able to, and let's see if I can even go back there real quick. So if I go on my phone and I click on back this project, it takes me to this screen here. But if I click on add-ons, yeah, I can actually add on. Well, now it's not doing it. It's kind of weird. Very strange. So I don't know what happened. Maybe some kind of fluke. I don't know. But I was able to see Einstein for 15. I think they're kind of working things out on their end and testing how they want to be able to handle multiple orders. Like, in other words, more than one. If you're going to buy more than one, you have the option of buying 2 or 5. Like, you can't buy 3. So, but earlier today when I went on my phone, I was able to see that you can actually purchase multiple. So I don't know what's going on with that. Anyway, so back to discussion about the model. This, talking about the Eaglemoss. This is actually a pretty good sort of alternative to the Eaglemoss. I think it's definitely not nearly as expensive as that. Will it kind of kill the Eaglemoss? It might. An Eaglemoss that's offered by Fan Home right now, I think it's still the same price as it was when it was offered by Eaglemoss. Now, Eaglemoss went out of business, and unfortunately, it looked a lot like Fan Home sort of, kind of took over, and there was a lot of issues with some subscribers not getting their subscriptions fulfilled and all that kind of stuff. I think Fan Home straightened it out. I don't know. I got 2 of those, and it was 100% each time, so I didn't really have any issues with that. But again, you have to put the whole thing together. Versus this, you do not. So let's go back to their website here. So I think every time you click on one of these, it just goes right to the Kickstarter. Okay. So they got some pretty cool videos here showing the smoke effect and all that kind of stuff. So it's a prototype, obviously. Gotta admit, it is pretty cool. there it is, guys. So, just to kind of cover off on some of the changes that they made to the model, and this is one of the things I think I like the most about this particular project that they're working on, is they're really factoring in what the collectors want to see in this thing. So there have been some changes to the prototype. They haven't gone to the production yet because they want to make sure that everyone is happy with what they're going to produce beforehand. Otherwise, you end up with something that, oh yeah, look at look at this, it's not screen accurate, right? So I'm assuming that all of the Hot Toys collectors, the Eaglemoss builders, they're all over this thing. I know I'm all over this thing. I mean, I did pledge for 2 of them. I think that by factoring in the collector's feedback, that's definitely a step in the right direction. I think that, especially if you want to be successful in something like this, the reality is they're not charging a heck of a lot for it. I mean, you think about how much the Hot Toys 1/6 scale was. That was over $900 shipped, right? This is going to be $323, and it is die cast. So $323. I think it's 329 or 330, something like that. $329 for the model shipped, and that includes the Einstein sort of giveaway VIP early access that goes away in 3 days. I think they're going to be doing a few more live streams. They did mention that they're going to do another interview with Denobi. I think that's happening this coming Friday. So that should be pretty interesting. I'll definitely be checking that out as well.
So I don't like to.
So just really quick, here is the Facebook group that they've got set up. If you haven't joined this, I would definitely recommend joining it, because that is how you're going to find out about basically anything that you might need to act on quickly, right? So for example, the display case and I'll show you the post here. So I believe this is the one. So VIPs, which that could be anybody at this point. Anybody who's a member of this group can enter this contest, right, for the display case. So it's a 24 by 12 by 8. I think it's just a generic acrylic display case, but it is kind of cool to have that. It looks like it might be kind of big. The reason why I think it's kind of big is because it's going to be able to display the car with the flames, right? The flame track in the back. So that's definitely something to consider if you're thinking about a display case for this. I was actually going to kind of pre-purchase one from iDisplayIt, and then I realized, oh wait, I'm going to need to know exactly what sort of footprint I'm going to need to display this thing in, because those flame tracks, assuming this hits the 1.4 million, right? You're going to need some additional room for those flame tracks, right? And they show those flame tracks right here. There's that right there. So that display case will definitely work if you're going to display it this way. You could probably push those up a little closer to the tire so that it doesn't really require a really big footprint as far as a display case goes. Let's see what else they got here. Alright, so here's some instructions. So some of you guys in the chat may have some issues with the Kickstarter and all that kind of stuff. So they do give you some instructions on how to set up your pledge, edit your pledge, all that kind of stuff on Kickstarter. So their website, which is the Tomy website, the Facebook page, and the Kickstarter pages, they're all on separate sites, and they're not really connected to each other. Okay, so here's some examples of how you can go ahead and make changes to your pledge if you need to. So basically what that means is you can change it from, I'm going to pledge for 1, now I'm going to pledge for 2. I actually did that. I pledged for 1, got that one in there, and then I started looking at the 2, and I'm like, you know what, maybe I'll pledge for 2, just in case. And I confirmed those changes. It worked out well. So you can pledge all the way up to 5. and again, when I was using my phone a little earlier, I was able to pledge for multiples of any quantity. I don't know if they kind of undid that or not, but that was something I was able to do. So share your backer number. That doesn't really get you anything. I did that, but it's just more of like, hey, you know, I'm a backer. Here you go. Here's my number. Let's see here. So they did reach their fundraising goal today. About 8 hours ago, they reached it. So this thing definitely took off. So it's safe to say we are going to get one of these. Just a matter of what are we going to get with it now? Are we going to get the lightning rod attachment as well? That looks definitely plausible. Are we going to get the fire tracks? Hard to say. I bet you anything that if it does get over 800,000 and starts getting towards 1 million, they're just going to go ahead and lower that threshold. I mean, why not, right? I mean, they're just fire tracks. Then they said they were going to add another tier. Maybe if they hit the 1.5 mark, they were going to add a USB port. Again, this is going to be stuff for the VIPs only, right? And you have 3 days to put in for that. That ends on Thursday, this coming Thursday, right? Today being Tuesday. After that, you're just getting the retail, and you may end up paying as much as $3.99. I don't know if that's going to sell out. I honestly don't know what that's going to look like. It's really hard to say. Again, they've been changing things kind of like during the course of this whole thing. And let's see what else we got here. So there was a launch. So, okay, there's their... Then they had this. So, let's take a look at their Instagram here. A cameo from Leah Thompson. I'm not really quite sure what that is. I think it might just be a pre-recorded thing that you can enter into if you try to help promote the Kickstarter, right? Maybe Leah Thompson, they've got her kind of in line to do a video, customized video for you. I'm not really sure. I don't know if I entered that. I don't think I did. I might have. That was when was that? That was a while ago. 5 days ago. So whether or not that happened, I don't know. But they've had quite a few like giveaways and little contests and stuff like that. They may have more. There's the Einstein. So again, Einstein is only available for the next 3 days, and anybody can get Einstein. So you didn't need to put the $5 in. The $5 didn't mean anything, as it turns out. It was kind of an idea they had, and now they're saying, oh yeah, you can have your $5 back. It really kind of didn't go anywhere. We didn't end up doing anything with it. I think, again, the idea there was that they were going to really just make Einstein, the lightning rod, and the flame tracks exclusive to the VIPs who put in the $5. But as it turns out, because this thing really blew up, they decided, you know what, we're going to make it available to everybody. So you can get your $5 back. Again, the $5 really didn't mean anything. They do have some live streams here as well on Facebook. And since we're talking about their live streams, if you don't have Facebook, and that's why I'm doing this live stream here on YouTube, because I know a lot of you guys don't have Facebook, and they were only doing their live streams on Facebook. But if you go to YouTube, they actually have posted their past live streams there. So I'll show you where those are at. So what you need to do is you need to go to the Tomy channel, and let's take a look at those. Show you where those videos are at. So you need to go to... So Denobi did a live stream. That was a pretty cool one because he was asking a bunch of questions. But if you go to the Tomy Toys channel...
I am Chris. I'm
right?
a senior concept.
You go to the Tomy Toys channel, which is this one right here. Okay. You can find their videos. Now you have to look through here. Let's see what we got here. So their channel is not very easy to navigate through. Oh, here we go. Click on videos. Sorry about that. If you click on videos, you can kind of see what the live streams. And it looks like they have had so far 2 live streams other than the one today. So they have 3 total. They'll probably post a live stream they did today on their channel. And here are the two that they did before, right? 13 days ago and then 6 days ago. And then they posted a video about 5 days ago. So we can take a look at that. Oh, that's the same video that we just saw. So there's that. Okay, so they're posting their videos across social media as much as they can, which is good. This is the one that they had on July 5th.
All right.
Yeah, where they just kind of repeated a lot of what they kind of went through today. So there's all of that. All right, so so the Kickstarter went live today. Again, I honestly recommend that you get in on that if you want this. Don't wait around, because Thursday will happen and the price will start going up. You won't be able to get Einstein. Of course, you could take a chance and say, well, maybe they'll change their mind and just include everything at the end. I don't know, but they did say the price is going to go up. $3.99 is the max, and you can expect, I guess, $30 for shipping is what we're gonna see for that. These are compatible with the NECA 7-inch or 6-inch figures, whatever they are. I'm not a NECA Back to the Future fan. I don't have any of them. I've got like a Hot Toys Marty McFly 6 scale. But for those of you who are into the NECA figures, they are trying to make this compatible with those. And what I mean by compatible, and you saw it in the live stream earlier, is they are trying to make it so that the DeLorean can accommodate the figures sitting down inside the car. So they are, making little changes to the internals of the car, the seats, in order to accommodate those kind of wonky 7-inch NECA action figures, right? They're not very posable. They don't stand up all that well. You probably have to use sort of display stands for those and that kind of stuff. So anyway, there's that. Let's see what else. So yeah, so this is the Facebook group. I will drop this in the chat for those of you interested, because this isn't really a public, I don't think this is a public group out there. Okay. Yeah, I just want this thing to fit the NECA figure. So Robert, I agree. I think that would be great. I think, again, this is one of the reasons why they even went with this 110 scale. So there's a few reasons why they went 110 scale. Obviously, to give collectors of those NECA figures, right, a DeLorean, right? I mean, you could say, hey, I got the Eaglemoss, but it's still a little too big, I think, for those 6-inch, 7-inch NECA figures. I think this is going to work perfect, right? They also went with a 110 scale in die-cast to sort of compete, not directly with Eaglemoss, because that's 2 scales larger than in this particular one, but it does give them an option. Those Eaglemoss, the potential Eaglemoss customers, another more affordable option that they can use with their figures. So I think it's a larger market share than what may be in existence for the Eaglemoss right now. Because of course you have the 6 scale stuff from Hot Toys, right? So let's capture another market, which is the 7-inch NECA figures. There's quite a few of those out there and a lot of collectors there. But there really isn't an ideal DeLorean Time Machine offering for those figures. So that's one of the reasons why they went with the 110 scale. Pricing was a big deal. You're looking at over $2,500 or so for the Eaglemoss fan home. You've got to build it. It's going to take a long time. If you were to start today, it would take you a lot longer than this thing arriving at your doorstep next year, I think. And it would cost you and set you back a lot more than this. So basically $299 right now if you get it, versus $2,500, $3,000, whatever it is. I don't even know how much it is anymore. It can't be less than it was when we first started with the Eaglemoss. Of course, you could always just jump ship and go over to Hot Toys, right? You have the Mark II, which I think is still available. I don't know. I haven't checked. Along with all of those figures. Those figures are quite a bit more expensive, of course, than the NECA figures. So if you're a NECA person, this is really, I think, the ideal model for you. I think another reason why they did this is because people just love DeLoreans, right? I mean, you can't really have enough DeLoreans out there. I'm a collector of mainly Hot Toys DeLoreans, Hot Wheels DeLoreans. I did the Eaglemoss 2 times. And this particular one I would probably normally not get, but because it's a 110 scale and it's die cast, that's really kind of the selling point for me. I don't really, I'm not a big NECA action figure guy, so that's not really a driver for me. I already have the Eaglemoss ×2, so that's, not a big deal. I just thought that a 110 scale, and I don't have an actual, replica 110 scale DeLorean Time Machine. That Lego DeLorean that they just released, I think it was last year, that's kind of a 110 scale, but of course it's a Lego, right? I do have a 110 scale DeLorean, stock DeLorean RC car body, and there may be some other 110 scales that I don't, and I'm not aware of at the moment. Russ, who was just online a little bit ago, may be able to answer that question in the future, but I think this is it. I think this is the only 110 scale, at least Back to the Future DeLorean Time Machine replica out there, past, present, or future. 110, what is that in inches? 6-7 inch? Yeah, for the figures, 6-7 inch figures. They actually had on their website, they actually had the dimensions. There it is, right? No, this is not the dimensions here. This kind of shows you what the parts, let's see here. Well, let's blow that up. This shows you what parts are metal and what parts are going to be plastic. Obviously, here you got the wheels. They did say the wheels are going to be sort of a rubber-like material. And the stainless steel body panels are actually going to be die cast, and they're going to be treated in such a way as to simulate a brushed stainless steel finish, right? So they obviously can't use stainless steel for this really small scale model, but they're going to do is, obviously this photo here, this is just the 3D printed prototype they put together. I'm really looking forward to seeing the first die cast prototype to see what that's going to look like. So I'm also going to be offering my feedback as they post more photos of the prototype, make sure they get the fascia paint right, and all the other DeLorean stuff that often goes sort of inaccurate, when it comes to like the Hot Toy stuff or maybe the Eaglemoss, whatever, stuff like that. So Heavy Metal Machine, I was bummed out when I learned about the NECA accessory set after it was long sold out. When I was trying to get the complete set, had to pay some bucks. Yeah, I mean, secondary market snatches that stuff up. It is what it is. Again, that's why I recommend you get on this right now, because that secondary market, they're already on this. They're the ones that are ordering like 5 at a time, right? They're the ones that are going to saturate eBay with this stuff over $1,000, right? That's that's going to happen. The Einstein, Lightning Rod, and Flame Track ones are going to go for even more than that, obviously. So I would definitely recommend getting on this as soon as you can. If you're, if you're a time machine, DeLorean Time Machine model collector, NECA. I mean, they're really, they're marketing, and they really analyze the market for this, and this is why they went with a 110 scale. Is to be compatible with the 6-inch stuff. That's a big kind of market sector right now, and the biggest gap there is the DeLorean, right? It is what it is. What else? I mentioned, people love DeLoreans. You can't get enough DeLoreans, and the thing has open doors. It's got the smoke effect. It's got stuff that other models don't have, right? The light up flux bands, right? Things like that. It's got LEDs. The only thing it's missing, I think, that, I was kind of torn on this. I don't know how you guys feel, but it doesn't have any sound effects. So, and they thought that it would not be considered a sort of a serious collectible if it had sound effects. It'd be more like a toy than anything else. But I don't know. What do you guys think about that? I mean, sound effects on this thing, is that kind of a missed opportunity? Let me know about that. So Robert, so how does this work? Is this like once sold out? No, Robert. So how it works is you have to go to the Kickstarter over the next 3 days to get the discounted price to lock in that $299. Okay. if it sells out, they haven't really been very specific about like when and if, right? I think they just want to generate a lot of interest, get a lot of money on their Kickstarter, and it's kind of like, you know, this open, you know, this open thing. Well, they'll figure out how many they can produce to meet the demand. So I don't know if it's going to sell out. It may never sell out. You know, I think when the Hot Toys DeLorean Mark II came out, that didn't really sell out very fast. So you had a window of opportunity there for a long time. I'm expecting this to be the same. I think the rush for this thing right now is to lock in the $299 price and also to get the VIP bonus extras, which really, again, it doesn't matter if you signed up for the VIP or not at this point. They changed that, and I think as of like today they changed that. The $5 didn't mean anything. And so there's that. So Justin, what's up, Justin? So he's fine without the effects. Yeah, I think I kind of am too. I think that would have increased the price, because then you have to have a soundboard in there and some buttons and all that. That's going to increase the price by whatever that would cost, right? And depending on what sort of high quality board you use, it could be $50 more, $100 more, right? So I think by focusing on some of the mechanics of the DeLorean Time Machine itself, like the smoke effect, that's probably better, because we already have DeLorean models that have sound effects, right? We already have that out there, so that's not something that hasn't been done before. But the smoke effect and some of the other stuff that they're looking at doing hasn't been done before. I think they're going to consider adding some more stuff if they can reach a higher threshold, right? So hopefully we'll see what happens. Heavy Metal Machine just got his P2 Hot Toys. Oh, yeah, his Part 2 Hot Toys last week. I bought it knowing I had no room to display it. Gonna have to figure that out. Yeah, I agree. I had to make room. So that's what a lot of us had to do. So Robert, again, I would just, or we'll be jumping up in price. So Robert, yes, it will be jumping up in price. Again, they were kind of sketchy on details. They said that after this Thursday, it will go up in increments. It might go up to $350, and then after that, $375. And I think the cap is $399. And then at that point, they will set a cap on number of units produced, and then eventually it will sell out. They'll go to production with that many units built, and they probably will not go back to production because they've already hinted that they'll be doing a Part 2 hover converted DeLorean Time Machine, which I think is a great idea. I talked about that a little bit earlier. So this is finite, although I still think you have time if you don't want to plunk down the $299 right now. They won't charge your card until August, they said. So my confirmation email that I got confirmed that. So it said we'll charge your card in like August or something. I'm gonna go to my email here just to let you guys know what I got here. And actually Kickstarter's the one who messaged me, right? So it wasn't Tomy that confirmed the pledge, right? It was Kickstarter, right? So let's see what it says here. Estimated delivery October 2024. It says here, if the campaign reaches its funding goal, which it did, you will be charged on August 10th, 2023. Check your original backing confirmation email for this project for additional details. So they will charge you the $299 or whatever you decided to pay if you're going to get more than one, right? $299 plus the $30 shipping if you buy one. It's $40 shipping if you buy two, and then I think it goes up $10 for each additional, something like that. And they will charge you on August 10th, right, of this year. Let's see what else. So yeah, so they said that if it reaches its funding goal, I will be charged $329. So this is when I ordered one, right? So I actually did order a second one. $329 total on August 10th at 8:55 a.m. I don't know why it's 8:55 a.m., but that's what it is. It did say to keep an eye on your inbox, and they'll reach out to you when your reward is ready. They might contact you before if they need your mailing address or anything like that. So that was another question. Are they going to collect your mailing address details at that point? So I would, take a look at your inbox once you've made your pledge. You've got your confirmation email. You want to make sure that you enter your delivery address. We obviously have a lot of time, more than a year before this thing comes out. But it'll go by fast, just like it did for the Hot Toys. Actually, the Hot Toys Mark II, I don't think it was even a year. That thing kind of came and went. But anyway, so they will contact you. There's going to be, you can even reach out to them on their Facebook page with questions. They're very easy to reach out to with questions and stuff like that. Let's see what we got here. So Robert, hopefully that will help you out as far as guiding you on, getting one of these things. And maybe the sound effects as an extra tier. Yeah, I mean, that could also happen. The USB port may be a 4th tier, what they're talking about. Who knows if that'll happen. And if it's going to be offered for VIPs only, I think it would be very cool, because you've got a lot of these guys that like to display their stuff in cases and light everything all up at the same time. And this thing is going to be well lit, as you can tell. The flux bands and obviously the headlights and all that kind of stuff. I guess some of the interior, like Mr. Fusion, all of that, all the time circuitry on the inside is going to be lit. Okay, so wondering how it will look with that gold McFarlane Batmobile. A second DeLorean if you missed this one. They will be doing probably the Mark II DeLorean Time Machine from Part 2. If you missed this one, and you like that one better, you can always maybe cross your fingers and hopefully they will come out with one. I think they probably will. I mean, they completely destroyed their goal on this for sure. Went way over. So they're probably already thinking about the Mark II. And I think that's a good thing, because that's actually my favorite of the DeLorean Time Machines. So what do we got here? I'm guessing we're going to be delayed probably January, February, always. Yeah, so 2025. Yeah, I mean, Russ, who was on a little earlier, thought that their October 2024 delivery or shipping date, rather, was a little ambitious, given that they don't even have a die-cast prototype yet. It's just a 3D printed prototype. So I think I agree with you on that. Who knows what's going to happen? It's Tomy. They're a very big company. So who knows? Who knows? But they're doing it the right way. They're reaching out to the community. They're very, very active in, listening to our feedback. They're partnered up with Denobi on some stuff, so that they know who to talk to. Versus some of these other companies, they just kind of do things on their own, and they put it out there. When it's all said and done, they didn't really seek any feedback on what needed to be incorporated. So check this out. So if you look at these other ones here, the Ultimate Early Bird, which I think this is after the 3 days. This is $70 off, so that will last for an unspecified amount of time. If you order 2, it's $658, and then after that closes, it goes up to $349. Oh, and here's that Einstein. So here's the other the thing that I wasn't quite sure on. You can add on Einstein, I guess, even after the 3 days. So that's what it appears to be, because yeah, it's really weird. It's really weird how they're doing this. And they even admitted it. They were just kind of like, well, we're just kind of, figuring things out as we go. I think what will end up happening with Einstein is that once the 3 days is up and you're into like the $329 pricing without the perks and all that kind of stuff, you should be able to add on Einstein for like $15, I think. Of course, I don't know. I don't even know why they're even offering this right now. It may be tied to this Ultimate Early Bird deal, or even this Early Bird deal. I don't know. These are all less than $3.99. So when this comes out for $3.99, you will not be able to add on Einstein, right? I don't even know if you'll be able to add on the lightning rod attachment or the fire tracks at that point with the other early bird offerings like the 349 and the 329. It looks like these are just stretch goal tied accessories. So if they reach their $800,000 goal, they will automatically include the lightning hook or lightning rod attachment accessory and the flame tracks accessory with your order. Now that's all pending they reach these thresholds, which 800,000 is definitely likely. The 1.4, I don't know about that one yet. We'll have to find out, right? So many Kickstarters. Yeah, I've never done a Kickstarter myself either, with the exception of the Jordan Livingston. I think it was a Blu-ray of his Living the Dream documentary. That was the last one I ever contributed to, and I haven't done anything. Obviously, another DeLorean related thing. I haven't done one since then. So here are the specs. So you were asking about the dimensions. So it is 17, almost 17 and a half inches in length and almost 5.5 inches tall. So, and that's without the doors open. With the doors open, it's 7.35 inches tall. The width is 7.8 inches across. So there you go. If you're interested in trying to get an idea of where you're going to display this thing, or if you're curious about display case dimensions, I would wait until this thing, until you get this thing in hand before you get a display case, because you don't know what else they're going to ultimately include with this. Obviously, the fire tracks are going to require a larger footprint, so you're going to need a case that is going to have to accommodate the 17.4 inches as well as the fire tracks, which adds maybe another 6 inches or so, whatever it is, 5 inches. 11 pounds. So here it is. So this thing is going to weigh 11 pounds, right? Again, die cast, 110 scale. Not the largest metal model out there for the DeLorean. You know, that kind of goes to the Eaglemoss, but again, for $299, you really can't beat it. They even give you the flux capacitor dimensions, so that's pretty cool. It's about 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch. It's got EL wire, electroluminescent wiring in there for the lighting. I'm assuming that it's got some LEDs in there as well, because you've got the headlights and things like that. But the EL wires are going to be behind the flux bands. It does require 6 AA batteries. And it is scaled for compatibility with the 7-inch figures, like we keep saying. So, again, that was one of the other reasons why they went this way. So today, the Kickstarter kicked off. You got 3 days left to lock in that $299 price. And then after that, I guess Friday, it goes up to $329. Probably with the option to add on Einstein. That's what I'm guessing. Okay, they weren't really clear about that, but just based on what I'm seeing here, that's what's going on. More than likely, you know what they're probably going to do? Once they hit 800,000, they're going to include that with the early bird $299, right? That way up here, the VIP early bird. They're going to include it with that, and then they'll probably add an option to purchase it, right? Depending on where you're at here. So say like we're at the 349 mark, they may add in an option here, an add-on option to purchase the lightning hook for $15 or something like that. That's what they're probably going to do, if I'm looking at this right, because originally the Einstein was only available if you paid the $5 and got the early bird VIP. Now the $5 doesn't mean anything. You can really just order Einstein, you know, for the $299 VIP, which doesn't seem to have a cap. It's still available. And then they're saying that you can get Einstein even after that, right? So for the early bird, it's $15. Now, once it hits $399, I think you won't be able to get Einstein. That's kind of the idea there. Same thing goes with the flame tracks. That's my theory, at least. So again, they haven't figured out what they ultimately want to do with this. I think they're kind of surprised that they really went way over their goal today, and I think that it kind of, you know, took them by surprise, and now they're going back to the drawing board on a lot of how they want to package this stuff up. They do want to sort of recognize the early birds, and I think how they're going to do that is with some additional add-ons that they're going to do. That they're going to, you know, these benchmarks, these stretch goal add-ons. You know, that's how they're going to recognize those of us who put in early for this, and also saving some money. Right, you're saving about $100 max on this thing. You could save $75, $49, depending on when you order it, and those accessories may or may not be available, right? So, officially licensed by Universal Studios. In fact, in their live stream, they were just saying that they got the license approved for Einstein. So, I mean, they're going through a lot of red tape in order to get us what we need. I guess, you know, the whole Universal thing and Back to the Future. There's a lot of licensing thing that they have to go through. I don't know what Tomy has done. Actually, no, Tomy, I did some Gigawatt, Back to the Future, X Transformers Gigawatt videos. Tomy had their Takara Tomy version of that toy, but it wasn't like they put it out. I think it was more of a Hasbro thing. So they're not unfamiliar to Back to the Future. So this isn't like their very first thing, although I think it's their first Tomy exclusive model that they've done so far for Back to the Future. They may have done some other stuff. I honestly don't know. But as far as DeLoreans go, I think this is like their very first one. So anyway, here's kind of the timeline, which is kind of cool. So they first came up with this idea way back in February of 2022. The first prototype was developed in May of this year. That's the one we keep seeing in all of their videos and photographs and stuff. Again, is a 3D printed prototype. It is not a die-cast metal prototype, so it's very light. You can see him handling it and turning it around very easily. It's not 11 pounds. Kickstarter started off today. That's where we're at right now, and shipping in October 2024. So we'll see what happens. Oh, and there's the shipping box. That looks pretty cool. So let's zoom in on that. Let's see here. Let's get out of this. Oh, that looks pretty cool. That looks pretty cool. Yeah, USB-C, I agree, would be very cool with this, like they had with the Mark II, right? Of course, there may be another USB by the time 2024 comes around, October 2024. There may be a USB-D or something like that, right? They seem to be perfecting that. But anyway, yes, I agree. USB-C, at least, you know, for this model, would be cool. This is definitely 14 plus, so it's geared towards your collectors. But I think this box here is pretty cool. This is pretty awesome. It's got your, you know, powered by flux capacitor strip along the bottom here. It's got this grid kind of look to it that you see on a lot of other stuff. Flux capacitor here on the side. The top of it features the model with the doors closed, and you have the front of it showing the model with the doors open. So that's pretty cool. And, you know, if you go to their website, you can take a look at the team who designed it. That's kind of a cool little photo here of the, looks like a resin type prototype or something. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah. So there's your kind of your concept right there. That's pretty cool. That almost looks like the Doc Brown's DeLorean Time Machine manual right there. The one that Bob Gale put out there, I think a year or two ago, something like that. That's probably what that is. So they were they went to the source, I guess, right? Let's see here. Some more photos of the designing it, I guess. Yeah. So they're across. They got a press kit as well, which has a bunch of stuff. A lot of stuff here. You can check out videos. Got the smoking effect video, interior light sequence MP4s. I have to download it. We'll have to do all that stuff later. So you can go on their press kit, download stuff, and check out the videos that they have there as well. Maybe I'll do a compilation video and throw that up on the channel. I did reach out to them. They said I could use that stuff, so that was pretty cool. Again, if you're tuning in late, they are only shipping this to the continental U.S., right? So continental. No, unfortunately, no international shipping on this, right? So it is what it is. If you're in Canada, unfortunately, you're going to have to figure something out. If you're in the UK, again, I would recommend reaching, if you know anyone here in the States willing to, accept this for you and then ship it to you, you can do that. In fact, they encourage that. Tomy was saying, hey, yeah, if you can find a friend who would be willing to, accept this, so you basically ship it to your friend and then have them ship it to you. Now, here's the thing that they don't address. Okay, when you have your friend ship it to you, this is an 11-pound model. That's just the model. Okay, obviously the box and stuff, it doesn't really weigh that much, but it's going to add more to it, right? 11 pounds minimum. And if you're shipping overseas, it's not going to be cheap. I don't even know what that is. I haven't shipped something really heavy overseas. I do know that it's not cheap, though, just to ship small stuff. Like I'll ship some of the prototype ones that we've got, and then some of the clear tail lights. Not tail lights, hopefully the clear tail lights one of these days, but the clear front indicators, I've shipped a few of those overseas as well. It is not cheap. 11 pounds plus is going to be expensive, is what I'm guessing. Okay, and so it just kind of a forewarning there, right? Whoever you ship this to, you're going to have to figure out the shipping to you, right? And it's not going to be cheap. It might be $100. Okay, so you got to consider that when you do that, right? If you are international. So there's really there's a lot that you're going to have to consider when it comes to if you're an international purchaser of this and you're interested in this and you really need to get it. You're going to have to figure that out. One of the things that you could consider doing is just wait. Okay, if you have no options, right, and you really have no choice but to wait. Tomy is a Japanese company. Okay, so they are probably going to have an international release for this too. Okay, they did it with Gigawatt, the Transformer, right? The DeLorean Transformer. They had an international version of that, which I have. It's in what they call the Asia release. That one actually came out first. And then there was the US domestic release. Boxes are roughly the same. There were some differences. I can't remember. I think it was like a sticker or something like that. It was really almost the same thing. Then there was a numbered release. That was completely separate. And then there was the Tomy Takara release, right? So that was released in Japan only. So Tomy and Hasbro have this really sort of complex agreement when it comes to the Transformers. I don't know that it spills over into some of the other stuff that they do together. But their licensing agreement that Tomy releases the Transformers in Japan only, right? They don't release them anywhere else in the world other than Japan. Hasbro has the license to release Transformers everywhere else in the world except for Japan. But Tomy being a Japanese company and Tomy USA kind of getting a little bit bigger, more prominent place here in the market, I'm willing to bet they're going to have an international version of this model. I mean, why not? I mean, look at how big this thing is, right? Let's go back to the Kickstarter here. So if you go back to the Kickstarter, trying to see if they're over 600,000 right now. So if you hit your pledge, let's see what happens. Oh, you gotta log in. So I don't have an account. Doesn't really matter. You can just create an account either using Facebook or Apple. I guess you can log in Facebook or Apple. Or you can just create a password and a username or password. I think that's what I had already done in the past. Is I don't use Kickstarter a whole lot, but I did have an account that I ended up just using. So let's close these out here. And so I am not logged in, but if you were trying to find this thing, basically what I do is just go to Kickstarter.com and type in Tomy. And it just pops right up. Okay, so they have one project. You basically click on it. And so here's the thing. It does say 29 days to go. So you still have 29 days to go, and you're at 679,000. So we're probably going to break 800,000 by the, I would think, by the end of the day for sure. So just go on here, create your account. Once you create your account, you log in, click back this project, and then follow the instructions. Again, they've got a huge presence on social media. Let me bookmark this over here. And then we'll go back to their website. Because their website actually did have all the other social media stuff that they've got. They have been advertising like crazy sort of across the board with this thing. And, you know, and there's just a ton of information on this thing. So if you go to their social media section here, you can kind of look at where they're at. So they're on, this is the VIP community. I'm pretty sure this is the Facebook group that I showed earlier. Then they have a Facebook page. They have an Instagram. And they also have their Tomy YouTube channel where you can go and check out, you know, some of the previous live streams. Live stream from today will probably be posted there as well. And you can take a look at that. And you can send them an email. So there's Back to the Future at email.tomy.com. I've contacted them myself. You can message them on Facebook as well. If you go to their Facebook page, you can contact them that way, and they actually get back to you pretty quick. So if you have any questions, you know, you can reach out to them directly. You can also reach out to us if you need any help figuring things out over the next few days. So you can contact us on the channel and just drop a comment down here on the video. Anyway, guys, I think we're going to wrap up this live stream. I think Denobi, according to, actually, let's confirm that, because I don't know if Denobi, I was looking to see if Denobi scheduled a stream or not. Let's see if he did, because on the live stream today, the Tomy live stream, they mentioned that they were going to do another episode with Denobi this Friday. So let's see if Denobi has that one set up. Nope, not yet. So hopefully that'll happen, and then we can get more information about that. So anyway, guys, I'll go ahead and conclude this live stream. Once again, thanks for watching. Let's check the chat one more time, see if we have any last minute questions. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Again, if you have any questions about this thing, you can reach out to Tomy. You can reach out to us here at DeLorean Tech. We're going to be following this thing on the Facebook group. I recommend if you're on Facebook, join that group. I'll try to post links to all the stuff in the description of this live stream video. And yeah, no colored wires. So that's an example of where they did sort of accept our input. They took our input to heart. We pointed out that the wires were like very screen inaccurate. They were just these red wires, and they kind of explained why they did that, and that they were really just kind of, you know, trying to put together a prototype. But they did actually change it, so now the wires are more of a darker color. They're almost all black, which in and of itself isn't 100% screen accurate, but it looks a lot better than those red wires that were there before. Yeah, so hopefully the second stretch goal will be released or reached today, and we'll see that lightning rod attachment. So anyway, guys, we'll probably do another live stream on this model, you know, maybe in the near future here. And once again, thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next video.